Lacks common sense.
When someone has fallen asleep. You know the lines, but your delivery is no good.
Wow, Joseph Flakeshill over here. What do you mean it's not very good?
Maybe I'd go... I'd go with abrasive.
We've been asking both of you to participate in this interview for years, and you guys have finally agreed to do it. So we've asked some FanGo clients and the rest of the team to put together a series of questions which I can confirm neither Greg or Joe have seen prior to this recording. As requested by LinkedIn followers, we'll also be finishing this interview with a rapid-fire Q&A. So, let's get started. How would you describe Joe in 3 words?
3 words? That's quite hard. I'll be nice because I'll assume that you'll have to say the same for me. Is that right, Ben? No? Okay. Lacks common sense.
Oh, very good.
I'll be nice. I'll be nice.
What a joker.
I will actually say intelligent, articulate, and struggling now. Problem solver, hyphenated. So 3 words. There you go.
And that's a good, honest answer. So you can speak sense from time to time. Good. Very good.
How would you describe Greg in 1 word?
Oh. 1 word to describe Gregory.
Be nice.
So many to choose from. Too many. You were reasonably nice. It's an honest answer you gave. So I'd go with loud. And I think most people would agree. Maybe that's not quite fair. Maybe I'd go... I'd go with abrasive as a character. Yeah.
Real nice. Real nice.
Honest.
How long have you known each other?
Long time.
So, shall I do this one?
By all means.
When did you... Was it 8? You were 8, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
So, Joe moved to Outer Trinities, where we grew up, when he was 8 years old.
So are you. But why you keep saying I was
So,
8 years?
Yep, true. So, 25 years. So, a life sentence, you may say.
Indeed, and still going, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, we're only really friends for geographical convenience, weren't we?
Is that your favourite gag, isn't it?
It always goes down well. 25 years, there you go.
Do you remember the first day you met each other?
Now, I remember exactly the first time I met you. It's when we just moved to Beverley. One of our neighbours had come round. And
This is the best man speech, isn't it?
I have said it once or twice before, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, there was a young lad across the street, about the same age as me, who liked football.
8 years old, I heard.
Apparently so, yeah. And I thought, okay, it'd be good to have a friend nearby. Then I looked out the window one afternoon, and there was Gregory. And he was in full Leeds United kit.
Champions again.
Socks and all. And latest David Beckham haircut. Mohawk, if I remember rightly. And there he was doing football tricks in front of 2 young girls. And I remember so vividly at the time, I thought, oh, what a show off. 25 years later, look at you now and I think, oh, what a show off.
Why did you start FanGo?
Shall I do this one?
Yeah, please.
So I guess my granddad he ran a business for over 60 years. My parents ran a business for 20, 30 years. So
Usher's Fitness Centre.
Usher's Fitness Centre, yeah. Heart of the community. So I guess I'd always wanted to do my own thing. Joe and I had talked about numerous schemes.
A few pretty weird schemes.
Do you remember the see-through toaster? That was a
You went on as if it was the best.
best thing since sliced bread.
The bike shop.
The bike shop, yeah.
I employed you for £1 an hour.
Yeah, then was sacked.
After 1 hour. Without pay. Docked you pay.
It's true. Oh, the Average Joe's.
That was the best.
Yeah. Go on.
So,
No, JB.
oh no. So we wanted to have a gym in my parents' garage.
To rival Usher's fitness centre.
Because that just shut down, hadn't it?
Yeah.
Was it? Yeah.
It's retired.
And we were looking on eBay to get some really cheap equipment. And we found a £2 cross trainer. And sent my brother I don't know why he did it, sent him all the way from Beverley to Colchester to pick up this £2 cross trainer. It's one of the worst pieces of kit I've ever seen. But then it went from strength to strength for a time.
Had a boxing bag, didn't it? And
Yeah.
a few mats, a few dumbbells.
Yeah.
But the scheme was quashed by Joe's parents as it was set up in his external garage. And our intention was for the general public, so the members,
Had to make money somehow.
of course, yeah, who would purchase a membership. Post-workout, they would have use of Bernard's ensuite shower facilities, which was in the house.
Yeah, towel provided.
So yeah, that was subsequently shut down.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the end of Average Joe's.
But yeah, I guess going back to the original question, FanGo, we actually started in my mum's garage, if you remember.
I remember it.
She just had it renovated
Yeah.
and probably had better plans for us.
FanGo took it over.
Yeah. And back then, you were obsessed with the Greatest Showman album, if you remember. You hadn't actually seen the film.
No, but an excellent soundtrack.
Yes.
Let's listen to that again. Might just do that in the office. From now on. Oh. Like,
Well, this is me.
these gags have really made you come alive, haven't they?
No, it's not. I actually don't know anymore. Any more songs? Oh, you maybe say this is the greatest show?
Not sure it is.
You're still
We
trying to
had,
think.
When we were planning our businesses, we had a million dreams.
We have to cut this here, don't we? No.
Are there any? Oh, well. If I think of any, I'll let you know.
You're walking a tightrope. Is that a song?
There's just never enough.
What gave you the idea to start FanGo?
Where did we start? Well, the idea came from that Ed Sheeran concert. I don't know why it was you and me, but yeah, Greg and I were at
It was just us, wasn't it?
just you and me.
It was the O2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had to queue. It was about 45 minutes, I think, to get a couple of beers. And you were absolutely livid.
It was,
'Cause
yeah.
it meant you missed your favourite song, Galway Girl. Good tune.
Great song.
No doubt. And well, it was your idea to say, we could do something about this.
Yeah. The A-Team. No.
No,
Okay. We're done with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was trying to think of Ed Sheeran puns and failing now. But we decided we could try and do a phone app so people could pre-order and collect at the interval, skipping the queues.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how we started. And then how we ended up where we are. You want to...
Yeah, it was. We launched the app at various universities, and as part of the launch, we attended it was Hotel Olympia, wasn't it? It's now HRC.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Adam Loach, who
Yeah.
was the events manager at the Grand Brighton Hotel at the time. And he came on the stand and really liked the concept of pre-ordering. This was before COVID, when it was a very novel thing, wasn't it?
I'd like to say that.
Yeah. And he explained a little about hotel events and the challenges with collecting pre-orders, drink choices, dining and allergen requirements, and then the ticketing element too. And essentially asked if we could add this functionality in, but instead of it appearing on an app, he would like it to go onto a website. So I'll be nice to you now. One of Joe's greatest strengths is his problem solving.
Oh, wow.
And he was absolutely able to do that. And it kind of changed our business overnight, didn't it? We went from doing just a basic pre-ordering app to a full-blown ticketing system with pre-ordering functionality, drink elements. And it's grown from there, really, hasn't it?
One client asked, what's the hardest question you've ever been asked during a meeting?
The hardest question. Can you think of any?
There's been a few odd questions before.
Odd. Ha. The place card one. Names. So we had one client, and I haven't heard Joe say no to many things. But someone asked if we could make it compulsory for a guest to spell their name correctly.
I've forgotten about that.
That was a genuine request, wasn't it? And you were stumped.
Yeah, completely. Didn't even know what to say, really.
Yeah.
Neither did you, which is unusual.
Yeah, I'd say that was probably the hardest with that, because we couldn't give an answer, really, could we? No, just spell your name.
What's the funniest moment you've ever had in a meeting?
Funniest? Yeah, there's one. I'll take this one. There's one that immediately springs to mind, and it's when you and I were doing a training session for, I think it's about 10 or 15 people around a big table, and I was doing a rather dull section
I know.
on the finance reports, the transactions, the payments, and it's not the most thrilling stuff, I will admit it. And as I was going through it, I was doing my best though, and I look over around the table and someone has fallen asleep completely in their chair. I was absolutely flabbergasted. But then we had a little break in the middle, and I told Greg, and he didn't believe me. And then I did another section. They fell asleep again. I can't believe it.
And I did clock it this time. You held it together.
It was one of those lecture hall head bobs.
That is a true story.
I need to make you do that section in future.
I mean, it's hard to make financial reporting interesting as such. Important though, nevertheless.
These things happen.
Yeah.
How did you celebrate your first client?
Do you remember?
This makes me cringe still, I can't believe.
It makes me cringe as well. God.
You're quite cringe though, so you...
If it makes me cringe, it must be bad. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, I can't do that.
You did do it. So I mentioned Adam and the Grand a little earlier. It was actually Amy Leatham who was instrumental in the launch as well, the Grand Brighton. And we must have been up to Glasgow or something to visit a client, because we stopped at, was it Scotch Corner, wasn't it? Yeah. And we just pulled over to, I guess, grab a couple of coffees, headed back home, and received this call from Amy, who explained she was delighted to tell me that the Grand had decided to go ahead with the system, to which point I probably appeared all bumbly and just tried to hide my excitement, but probably couldn't. I have to ask Amy if she remembers. But immediately after explaining to her that we were really excited to be working with them, we hung up the phone, and for some reason, Joe and I decided to do a chest bump.
In the middle of the car park as well.
There's been definitely people around. And I can confirm, never before or since has that happened.
No, never again either.
How do you celebrate a new client nowadays?
So things have mellowed, at least on my side. When we get a new client, I usually go and have a beer or celebrate in a sort of more, usual way. Gregory, on the other hand, if anything, he's got more excitable, would you say? That fair? And so
An excitable guy.
the way that everyone finds out we've got a new client in the office is Greg, and I don't know why, will suddenly pretend that he's a velociraptor.
Yeah, we can't say this.
What is true? And he'll start stomping around the office, shrieking in people's ear while they're working. Oh, so we've got a new client then. Yeah, how do you know? It's quite a good impression, though. I will give credit where it's due.
No, I can't. Haven't got a new client.
Not today.
Final question. What is your favourite thing about FanGo?
My favourite thing? We should probably both answer this one.
Yeah. Working with me? Is that what you'd say?
It's not where I was going.
Oh, surprising.
Shall I go first? Do you want to go first?
Yeah, no, you go first.
This might be a bit cringe,
Oh, here we go.
but I've always been involved in teams, playing football. And I would say my favourite part of the job is the team we've put together. Joe's team's ability to find solutions to very challenging problems, and our team, our ability to come together and provide a fantastic customer support for our clients. I think it's unrivaled, actually. I haven't experienced the sort of support that I know that the FanGo team give to our clients, and hopefully I can say that with confidence. Hopefully some of our clients are watching today and can contribute to that. Yeah.
Didn't know you had it in you.
Well, there you go.
For me, I think I would go with the problem solving as a team. So when it started out with just Greg and me, it was a case if there was a query or problem from a client, we had to solve it ourselves. There was no one else to go to. And now with the wider team, watching everyone working together and solving those problems is extremely satisfying.
It's class, isn't it? Yeah.
So now we're going to do a rapid fire Q&A.
Who wears short shorts?
Greg wears short shorts.
We're going to pass you these.
Thank you, Hillary.
Here we are. Look at that. Handsome devil.
What have you got? Two of me?
Please. Dreadful. Right, here we go.
And the idea is, I'm going to ask you a series of rapid fire questions, and for each one, you need to hold up the face of the person you think it's most appropriate to.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry, are we working together or are we against each other?
For each answer, you get the same as each other. You get 1 point.
Okay.
I could do that.
Yeah, no peeking there, no cheating. Is that watching you play FIFA?
Right, are you ready?
Okay.
Whose idea was it to start FanGo?
Sure. Very good.
Yeah. What's it, yeah? Credit where it's due.
Who came up with the name FanGo?
Yeah.
Who is the most organised at FanGo?
Oh,
Too easy.
is there anything for you here? Who's asked these?
You are Captain Clipboard, though. No doubt.
I'd rather be organised than disorganised.
Who is the most likely to remember the exact date when FanGo was formed?
It's him again.
Of course.
Although you'll claim to know when it was formed.
What do you mean claim?
Go on then.
Of course I'd know.
Go on then. Let's hear it.
The 7th of September,
Yeah.
2017.
Can we get a fact check on that?
Ben, can you fact check that, please?
Oh, be on company's house. Going to be my guest.
Yeah.
Fact check it.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Who is most likely to be the first to arrive at work?
Is there any for Joe today? I thought you'd put yourself then.
No, unfortunately not. Greg's one of those really annoying early risers. When he's out of bed, he's bouncing around. When we lived together, I had to have the rule that it was a good rule, it was an effective rule.
Wasn't adhered to all the time, was it?
Yeah, because I can be a little grouchy first thing.
A little.
So the rule was Greg's was not allowed to speak to me until I had at least one coffee. minimum.
It's true.
Who is most likely to be the office prankster?
I'm actually going to... Yeah, I would agree with that. Well, that mug, for a start.
It's a prized possession of mine.
I'm on brand.
Yeah, do you want to mention it, perhaps? You know?
Not really. But I guess as many people hopefully watching are aware, I'm a big Leeds United fan. And you've been quite quiet this season, actually, since we've been promoted.
Let's follow their fortunes.
But last year, I'd made the trip to Wembley when Leeds reached the playoff final.
I spoke to you that morning and you're having the time of your life.
Yeah.
Buzzing, weren't you?
And unfortunately, Leeds lost 1-0 to Southampton.
You hate to see it.
And yeah, I returned from Wembley and I was back in the office. I think it was probably towards the end of the week, wasn't it?
Yeah, didn't show your face for a few days,
No.
did you?
And I came in and we were just about to go on a client call. And it was quite a solemn room, wasn't it? Everyone knew I was not in the best of spirits.
It's only
And
a game, though.
just about to go on this call, and I noticed Joe wasn't using his usual mug. It was this one.
I bought myself a little present.
But you don't have any interest in football
I have an interest in Leeds United.
when they're doing poorly.
Well, wouldn't like to say.
Go on then.
So here we have my mug. Championship playoff final. Leeds 0, Southampton 1. The Saints go marching back to the Premier League.
Very good. I should get you an updated one with this year's
Maybe get yourself
championship
one.
table.
Treat yourself.
Who is most likely to be the designated driver for FanGo events?
You say driver. I mean,
Yeah, cheers, drives.
so Joseph always has like a coding emergency whenever we're going on these long drives, so he has to be beavering away on his keypad next to me.
You like
Just
driving.
happens
You like
coincidentally
driving.
whenever we're going on these long drives.
You're a good chauffeur.
I'm a good driver, which is more than can be said for you. When the only times I can think that you've driven recently was when you took us 3 times on the M6 toll.
Come on.
3 times.
That I blame on the navigation. I was.
Whose navigation?
You were navigator.
You were drives.
Yeah, you were navigator.
You were in control of the car. 3 times.
Yeah, for the same toll.
They paid 3 times.
The second time hurt enough. But yeah, it was a rare misstep from me. That a rare misstep.
Unbelievable.
Who is most likely to run a marathon?
Who's asked that question?
How many have you run?
Yeah, say Joseph there. I've not run one to date. I've trained for a couple.
Oh yeah, good. Go well.
Unfortunately, I was injured on both occasions. You want to tell everyone your gag,
okay,
don't you?
okay.
Yeah.
So, Greg has always been the sporty one.
It's an understatement.
I've always been the more studious one.
What did Boone say, your dad?
Oh yeah.
You didn't have the aptitude for sport.
That was a nice thing for him to say to my friends.
Accurate.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah, it's reasonable. But Greg always has a claim that over any distance he would beat me in a running race.
I'd still maintain that.
Okay, yeah. And Greg had signed up for the Leeds Marathon,
Yep.
and he told me about this, and he was excited. So naturally, then I signed up in secret.
Naturally, there's nothing natural about
Of
it.
course, that's what I had to do. And I trained and worked out like I've never ever done before. 6 months of extremely hard graft. And I kept an interest on your training.
Yeah, you were
as
just
well.
unbelievably sneaky.
You thought I was being nice.
Yeah, you just kept texting me saying, how was training going? Oh, great effort. Asking me to send screenshots of my progress. And I thought at the time, like,
Just being
nice
taken
guy,
interest.
yeah.
Good friend. And there were times when Greg's training was going better than mine. I was starting to panic. Times when mine was going a bit better. And it was absolutely gutting for me as about a month before the marathon, he just messages me and saying, I'm going to have to pull out. done my knee in.
I had.
And that meant all my training for the marathon, all my plans in ruins, and then I just ran the marathon on my own. No glory, no nothing.
Who is most likely to cancel plans at the last minute?
Oh,
Don't really like that one being for me.
well, Joseph Flakeshill over here.
Don't say that.
Who is the most competitive?
Yes.
Yeah, you're annoyingly competitive now.
I am competitive, but you're one of those annoying people who pretends they're not competitive when they actually are extremely competitive.
One trains for 6 months in secret for a marathon. That's good.
Exactly.
And finally, who is in charge of FanGo?
There's a correct.
Should we answer this?
There's a correct answer.
Well, if you've gone there, then... Yeah, predictable.
Jeez.
Predictable.
9 out of 10. Could have been 10.
Yeah, well, if you've answered the question correctly, it would have been.
Well, congratulations. We've reached the end of the first interview. We've got one more question from me, which is, what would you like to say to anyone thinking about working with FanGo?
That's a nice question.
Yeah. One for you, I think.
For me.
Yeah.
What, because you'll put people to sleep?
Give over.
I would say that when you work with FanGo, you work with us, with our team. We don't believe in chatbots or having to wait on long calls to speak to someone. You'll speak to and work with us directly. And we're very proud of our customer support and the ability for, I'm going to say us, but it's Joe's team that does the coding to create that bespoke experience. So yeah, I think the fact that you can work directly with us would be my leaving message to anyone considering an event management system.
Yeah.
Fair. That's all right.
Excellent answer.
Finally, have you got anything you'd like to say to each other?
We're done here.
Little chest bump, maybe.
No.
We're done. Back to work.
Yeah, cheers.
Back to work. Ben says I shouldn't come too close to the microphone because my voice is very loud.
Extremely loud, yeah.
Lean back.
Closer or further away?
Just pick a
Don't
lane.
be a chicken.
Lean back.
Pick a-
I'm going to relax. Okay.
Don't be a
Gregory.
pigeon.
Ooh, yeah.
Pigeon.
Don't be a pigeon.
Oh,
And he's lighter.
who's lighter?
Just
You think darkness is your friend? I was born in the darkness. You impressed with that one?
no, underwhelmed.
Who was it?
I've no idea.
What do you mean you have no idea?
Not
Pathetic.
known for your impressions.
Here we go. And then he said to me, "Why so serious?" Well,
Was that some sort of victory sip?
you knew exactly who it was.
Yeah, I mean, you could just say.
My man Heath. No? Well, what have you got? Nothing.
I'm not some like performing monkey.
Oh, you fooled me. Are we getting this show on the road? News from the Mark. Oh, I've got another one for you. What is it? What do you smell? Man flesh. I mean, pretend you're trying hard not to laugh.
I mean, it's just not very good.
What do you mean it's not very good?
You know the lines, but your delivery is not good.